यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायशभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवोत्तमेन सख्या प्रियेण सुहृदा हृदयेन शून्याः सख्या प्रियेण सुहृदा हृदशून्याः सख्या प्रियेण सुहृदा हृदयेन शून्यः अध्वनि उरुक्रमा परिग्रहम् अबला इव विनिर्जितः अस्मि गोपैर् असद्भिर् अबलेव विनिर्जितो विनिर्जितोऽस्मि उरुक्रमा परिग्रहम् अंगरक्षन् गोपैरसद्भिर् अबलेव विनिर्जितोऽस्मि पुरुषोत्तम नृपेंद्र हित पुरुषोत्तमेन सख्या प्रियेण सुहृदा हृदयेन शून्यः अध्वनि उरुक्रमा परिग्रहमङ्गरक्षन् गोपैर्सद्भिरबलेव विनिर्जितोऽस्मि सोहं नृपेन्द्ररहितः पुरुषोत्तमेन सख्या प्रियेण सुहृदा हृदयेन शून्यः अध्वनि उरुक्रमा परिग्रहमङ्गरक्षन् गोपैर्सद्भिरबलेव विनिर्जितोऽस्मि. Synonyms: Saha, that, aham, myself, Nrupa Indra, O Emperor, Rahitaha, bereft of, Purusha Uttamena, by the Supreme Lord, Sakya, by my friend, Priyena, by my dearmost, Suhruda, by the well-wisher, Hrudayena, by the heart and soul, Shunyaha, vacant, Advani, recently, Urukrama Parigraham, the wives of the all-powerful, Anga, bodies, Rakshan, while protecting, Gopaihi, by the cowherds, Ashadbihi, by the infidels, Abala Iva, like a weak woman, Vinirjitaha, Asmi, I have been defeated. Translation given by His Divine Grace Bhaktivedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada Ki. O Emperor, now I am separated from my friend and dearmost well-wisher, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore my heart appears to be void of everything. In his absence, I have been defeated by a number of infidel cowherdmen while I was guarding the bodies of all the wives of Krishna. Please read the translation. O Emperor Arjuna, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura has justified the contradiction by research in the Vishnu Purana and the Brahma Purana. In these Puranas, it is said that once the fire denizens of heaven pleased the Astavakra Muni by their service and were blessed by the Muni to have the Supreme Lord as their husband. Astavakra Muni was cowed in 8 joints of his body, and thus he used to move in a peculiar curved manner. The daughters of demigods could not check their laughter upon seeing the movements of the Muni, and the Muni, being angry at them, cursed them that they would be kidnapped by rogues even if they would get the Lord as their husband. Later on, the girls again satisfied the Muni by their prayers, and the Muni blessed them that they would regain their husband even after being robbed by the rogues. So, in order to keep the words of the great Muni, the Lord himself kidnapped his wives from the protection of Arjuna. Otherwise, they would have at once vanished from the scene as soon as they were touched by the rogues. Besides that, some of the gopis who prayed to become wives of the Lord returned to their respective positions after their desire was fulfilled. So, after the departure of Lord Krishna, he wanted all his entourage back to Godhead, and they were called back under different conditions only. So, in this sloka, a controversial pastime to say of Lord Krishna. Why controversial? Because many people misunderstand this pastime. So, how the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, his wives have been taken away by some Shabara tribe. They are cowherd people. Even though Arjuna is there to protect them. Maybe Krishna is a normal person like us. Some people tend to think like that. Okay, that's how many people misunderstand Krishna. It is said in Bhagavad Gita, Janma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha tyaktva deha punajjanmanaiti mameta so Arjuna. Krishna says, if you understand my birth and the pastimes enough, one can come back to me, Krishna says. That means these pastimes are not so easy to understand for normal people. One has to carefully hear from pure devotees. Then only you can understand these pastimes properly. And just by understanding these pastimes, the benefit is that one can go back to Godhead. That's the power of Krishna Leelas. Okay. So here it is very much clarified by the Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura that from the Vishnu Purana and Brahma Purana, once the Devatas, the daughters of denizens of heaven, okay, so they have pleased Astavakra Muni by serving him, that to get Supreme Lord as their husband. And the Muni blessed them, surely you will get the Lord Krishna as their husband. But at one occasion, they did Vaishnava offense by laughing at that great Vaishnava. So because of that, he cursed them. When they came to know, they were very much horrified, and immediately they approached Astavakra Muni and offered prayers and also forgiveness. So then he told clearly that they would regain their husband even after this kind of abduction. So here Prabhupada is clarifying, in order to keep the words of great Muni, because Lord respects the words of the Brahmanas and his devotees, Lord himself kidnapped his wives. So they are nothing but expressions of Krishna only. Okay? The cowherd people who came to abduct the wives of Krishna. So Krishna himself kidnapped his wives from the protection of Arjuna. That's why Arjuna could not protect them. Because Krishna is there. Arjuna is very powerful. He is a single man army, defeated crores of Rakshasas. Once upon a time, Kauravas also. Such a great warrior. Because Krishna is there on the other side, he could not able to protect the wives of Krishna. Okay. So that is how this pastime explained by the Srila Prabhupada and the Vishnu Shakti Thakura. So here Arjuna is telling, Lord is my dearmost well-wisher. He is the dearmost well-wisher. That's why Lord is saying one more name, Govinda, who gives pleasure to cows and the Brahmanas are devotees. So recently, yesterday, we had Gopashtami festival. It's a festival of cows celebrated grandly across various parts of India, especially Vrindavan and many parts of India they celebrate. Krishna loves cows very much. By his personal example, he showed clearly how much he gives importance to cows. He tended the cows by taking them to Vrindavana forest. And then we tell Goloka, the planet of cows. So that much importance Krishna gives to cows. Whenever outside, if you see, when somebody talks about cows, they always talk about Krishna. In Goshalas you can find Krishna's deity. So people identify Krishna with the cows. That much importance is given. And actually, once upon a time, the followers of Sanatana Dharma, they used to respect and worship and serve the cows like that. But now, they are serving dogs more than cows. Recently happened to stay in one place for some days. So nearby some more people are staying. I'm just observing for some 1 or 2 days. One lady was there, she is maybe around 40 plus age. And she's not having much work, I think. Whole day she'll carry some biscuits. Some stray dogs will be there. She throw those biscuits to them. And then they always be behind her. And other people are praising her. Cows, these dogs loves you so much, and she is feeling very happy. Early morning when you wake up at 3:40 or 4 o'clock, even then she is with dogs only. So some people are so much after dogs. Of course, we respect all the animals to be taken care, but we should learn to deal with it carefully and how to deal with different animals. So even scientifically, if you see also, these dogs in their body, so many germs will be there. It's not good for the human beings. They will infect the human bodies. That leads to so many diseases. And even some place I see, these dogs are kept so much close with children, few months old babies. All these things are too much. If people should be scientific at least by knowing the science, if not spiritual. At least scientific, if they know clearly, they'll understand all these things. So Sanatana Dharma says we should take care of all the animals, but dogs should be outside the home. They should be taken care, but outside the home. Feed nicely, take care nicely, but outside the home. Govardhan festival, if you see, they feed all the animals. All the animals. They take care properly. But how to take care, that we should learn carefully from the scriptures. So, in this, it is mentioned about Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura. So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura, he wrote a wonderful sloka. So, this sloka is like essence of our parampara. Essence of parampara. That sloka is Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya Taddhama Vrindhavanam Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadu Varghenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Premapumartho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Matamidam Tatra Daro Na Paraha. So here 4 points are there. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura tells, what is a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matam? That means opinion of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The parampara of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What is that? Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya. So we worship the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Taddhama Vrindhavanam. Also along with Vrindhavana. So Krishna is the Supreme Person of Godhead. And we worship Krishna along with Vrindhavana. So such a sacred place, Vrindavan. It is manifestation of the topmost Vaikuntha planets. That is Goloka in this material world. So that is Vrindavan. So this Vrindavan stays on the ethereal planet until the end of creation. It gives shelter for all the devotees. The place where Krishna performed wonderful pastimes. Shri Radha Govind ki. And there is dust of the lotus feet of gopis, gopas and pure devotees, acharyas, all the acharyas. So worship Krishna along with Vrindhavana. And Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadu Varghenaya Kalpita. And what is topmost worship? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu considers the topmost worship is the worship of gopis. Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadu. That Vrajavadu's Upasana is the topmost worship. Why it is so? There are many paramparas are there. They don't talk much about gopis. We talk about gopis, and Chaitanya is telling that is topmost worship. How it is topmost worship? So Srila Prabhupada explains the position of gopis. So gopis, they think it seems. Krishna actually, he walks on the Vrindavan with barefoot always, barefooted, no slippers. Okay. And then they used to think, when Krishna goes for tendering cows into Undan forest, so they think that Krishna is not having proper protection to his feet. They are so soft, so softer than our bodies. And Krishna is walking on the stones. They must be, pin-pricking him, his lotus feet. I must be feeling pain. How much suffering Krishna is taking. And they used to cry, it seems. Cry whole day. And every day. They always think of Krishna continuously. Whether they are doing their household duties, some are married, some are unmarried. Always thinking of Krishna. At one instant, gopis, pray to Krishna. There are many yogis who are doing tapasyas in the forest. And they try to meditate on your lotus feet. But they fail many times. But our case is that fully focused on lotus feet, we can't able to shift our mind from your lotus feet. This we have to consider as blessing or curse, we can't able to understand. Because we have many household duties also to perform. We have to take care of our children. Oh Krishna, please take our mind out of your lotus feet. That's how Krishna is. Gopis used to tell Krishna, it seems. That much they love Krishna. See, if you are thinking of something so much, you cannot do your works. I saw one marriage ceremony was there. So bride and bridegroom, they were there, and one famous person came. He's a very big person. With his wife he came. And there's Mangal Sutra is there. They brought Mangal Sutra. Generally people touch Mangal Sutra as a blessing. And then after that, the bridegroom ties to bride. So the Mangal Sutra is taken to that person. And they are sitting before him. Both are, he went, that famous person went before them, and then the Pujari showed the Mangal Sutra, and then he is thinking something else, and he is taking that Mangal Sutra and tying to bride. And his wife is there, she slapped him, and then he came to senses. So, when you're thinking something else, he must be a big person, he's thinking of some big things, okay? When you're thinking of something else, you cannot be able to do your duties. Okay, gopis are so much absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna, they can't even perform any other duties also. So, that is the position of gopis. Of course, we are also trying to fix our mind on hearing holy name of Lord Krishna. We also fail many times. But yogis failing and devotees failing is different. Yogis, more or less, they're all impersonalists. They want to meditate on Nirakara Brahman. It is so difficult. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, Kleshodhi katrastesham avyaktasakta chetasam. It is so difficult, their path is. So we are like neophytes. Even though we are failing, we are in the right path. We are in the path of gopis. We have beautiful Krishna. Form of Krishna is there. Beautiful form. His pastimes are there. And our life, you see, our life is totally centered around Krishna. We talk for Krishna. We chant for Krishna. We do service for Krishna. We do everything for Krishna. And we dedicate our life for Krishna. This is the life of devotees. Everything. Whatever you do, we do for Krishna. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that whatever you do, you have to do an offering to me. Yat karoshi yadashnashi, yat juhoshi doshiyat, yat tapasyasi kaunteya. We do tapasya for Krishna. We eat by offering to Krishna. Whatever you do, we offer to Krishna. This is our life. So initially, even though we're failing, because we're in the right path, an easy path, one day surely we'll develop, that kind of absorption in Krishna. Srila Prabhupada, if you see, in the final pastimes in Vrindavan, even though he is having serious health problems, his body weight came down so much. Some devotees say almost less than 20 kgs. And the skin is touching the bones. When it happens like that, it will be so much paining. When you get a fever, we cannot think of Krishna. We don't like to chant also. That is our state. But Prabhupada, even though at that position, his consciousness is very clear. Very clear. He is translating Bhagavatam from Sanskrit to English very clearly. Everything acting and moving under the will of Krishna. This is Krishna consciousness. Like that one video is there. Prabhupada is sleeping on the bed and then he translates. Many slokas translate like from Bhagavatam. So Prabhupada is able to think of Krishna at any point of time like gopis, like pure devotees. He's a pure devotee. So that is the level of Srila Prabhupada. So for us, for time being, it may be little difficult. But by practice one can able to come to that state of pure devotion. And that's our goal of life actually. Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Asamshayam mahabaho mano durnigraham chalam abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha gruhyate. Two things are required. Abhyasena tu vairagyena. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena. So abhyasa means by practice. By practice. Again and again. Sadhana. Again and again practicing. Chanting again and again. We do everyday chanting of Hare Krishna mantra 16 rounds. That means 1728 mantras. So that many times we are trying every day to focus our mind on Krishna, at least with chanting. Apart from service, many things in that. So this is called practice, abhyasa. And vairagyena. For us, more or less attractions are, bad habits are like at most smoking and drinking, or wrong friends. My parents always used to tell, and relatives also always tell, be careful with wrong associations and all these things. But current generation, if you see, from the drinking and smoking, they went to the level of drugs. Not college students, even school children also. In some states of India are so much addicted to drugs. And Hyderabad also, so much addiction is there. It's a very strong addiction. And about these bad habits, to deviate our mind from Krishna's lotus feet, we have, what is that we have? Social media, Brahmastra, in a wrong direction. Okay? So we cannot avoid. It is unavoidable. So such is the position of the people in the Kali Yuga. But still, if one practice this abhyasena to kaunteya vairagyena, abhyasena vairagyena. If you sincerely practice Krishna consciousness, and develop detachment from this kind of attractions from this material world, we can be able to fix our mind on Krishna. So by the end of your life, you should be able to achieve that. If you cannot, again and again, how long you will take bus in material world, there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee. So one should be able to achieve the control of mind, full absorption in Krishna by the end of the life. So we should be very careful what kind of videos we are watching, what kind of associations we are involving. We should be very careful. Otherwise, Janma Muttu Jara Vyadi. So all these things, the cycle of birth and death, you have to rotate again and again. So this is important for all the devotees. So then, in this sloka, it is mentioned that Ramya Kachit Upasana Vrajavadu Varghenaya Kalpita. Then, Srimad Bhagavatam pramanam amalam. Our philosophy is based on, Krishna conscious philosophy is based on Bhagavatam completely. Completely Bhagavatam. Why? Because that is Amala Purana. The Purana with no impurities. That means other Purana have impurities? Yes. It is so that's why Vyasadeva wrote Srimad Bhagavatam on the instruction of Narada Muni. The complete essence of all the Puranas you find in Bhagavatam. That's why you see, many devotees across the world, Bhagavatam like that, who are devotees can able to understand importance of Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Gita is very famous. Bhagavad Gita explanation in detail is Bhagavatam. But unfortunately, Bhagavatam did not get that much fame as Bhagavad Gita. So, being devotees, we should take Bhagavatam, name and fame as equal to Bhagavad Gita. So, Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. For that, what we have to do? We have to do Nityam Bhagavata. Every day we have to read Bhagavatam. We have to hear Bhagavatam. Because Bhagavatam contains wonderful pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna. To control mind, we require, first thing is, we have to hear sufficiently and read sufficiently about Krishna. There must be some food for thought. If there is no food for thought, how you can think of Krishna? If you don't know about Krishna, how you can think of Krishna? You should sufficiently hear and read about Krishna. That is there in the Bhagavatam. In pure form. We call our morning sadhana class a Bhagavatam class. Okay. So that much importance is given. We have to read and hear Bhagavatam daily. And then, to think of Krishna always, we should develop attachment to Krishna. Without attachment to Krishna, you cannot think of Krishna always. Just like if you attachment to somebody, you'll think of them always. It's easy, one to develop that kind of attachment to any other person in the material world. Because material consciousness currently. You will find in many places, with many people like that. They don't have attachment to Krishna. If they have attachment to Krishna, they'll think of Krishna always. How that attachment comes? By service. By service. If you do service to Lord regularly with your heart, then you'll develop attachment to Krishna. Without service, simply talking philosophy doesn't work. So practically one has to do service every day without fail, every day. We have currently, this problem of divorce cases. Many people we hear. But previously, there's nothing called divorce. At least before independence. If any problems are there between wife and husband, they'll forget after some time. Because of attachment between both of them. How that attachment used to come? Because wife used to serve the husband. And husband also takes care of wife very responsibly. This is the culture of Sanatana Dharma. So by serving husband, wife gets develop attachment to Krishna, to husband, and by receiving her service, husband also develop attachment to wife. That's why they live together in spite of any problems all through their life. So but nowadays, everybody want to be independent. That is considered as pride. Being independent is considered pride. And there is no time for service. Busy with office works, many things. If any problems comes, I am financially, I have sufficient money. I don't attachment also. Simply divorce. Okay. So this is the current situation in the society. That's why so many divorce cases and children suffer because of that. And they also go through so much suffering, roaming around courts, paying fines, and then mental disturbance, so much will be there because of all these things. Waste of time. So much waste of time. So the principle, what I am telling is, because of service, there is to that much attachment. Similarly, if you do service to Krishna on daily basis, then you develop attachment to Krishna. So, reading or hearing about Krishna, service, and next thing, Prabhupada very clearly tells, if you want to think of Krishna, you should always chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So chant minimum 16 rounds without fail, and then chant as much as possible whenever you get time. Even you're walking or traveling or whatever work you are doing, you can always chant. Okay, this is the best way to think of Krishna, and that's how you can able to bring your mind in control. Okay, so that is help you can get from Srimad Bhagavatam sufficiently by hearing from Krishna and then service and chanting also. Then Prema Pumarto Mahan, the ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is that you should go back to Godhead, and that when that will happen, when develop that Prema, Krishna Prema. Okay, so currently we have love for Krishna, but it is forgotten. We can't able to express that love properly also, even though we have problems. Can't able to express towards Krishna, just like child is there. So child cries whenever any problem come, hunger, anything, but child cannot express. Similarly, we also can't able to express our love towards Krishna. At least we are not going before Krishna and offer prayers also. We are thinking, I'll take care of my problems. I have my friends, I have my relatives, I have this, or I am Swayam Shaktishali hu. I can take care of everything. Okay, so why this happening? Because we forgot our relationship with Krishna. So we have to hear sufficiently about Krishna from Srimad Bhagavatam and develop that Krishna Prema eventually. So then one is really qualified to go back to Godhead. Then if you repose our love towards this kind of dogs and or any other material attractions towards Krishna, then your purpose of life is achieved and fulfilled. One can go back to Godhead. So this is what exactly Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur tells, the essence of a parampara. Krishna, worship Krishna along with Vrindavana, and the topmost worship is actually Gopis Upasana, and then Srimad Bhagavatam is the Amala Purana, and then the goal of life is to attain Krishna Prema. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matamidam. So this is the opinion of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and that is the essence of a parampara. So with this will conclude. Thank you very much. Shri Radha Govind ki, Nitai Gauranga ki, Lakshmi Narasimha Bhagwan ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.